a man breaks down over his inability to buy food items. Now, this is a trending video on Twitter and of course on Instagram, whereas Nigerians continue to grapple with the high cost of living. A video of a man weeping in the market over his inability to buy food items with the little money he had on him has gone viral. The man was filmed in front of a shop where staple food items like rice and beans and others were being sold. And of course, he could be heard asking for the price of food item, realizing that he couldn't afford to buy the food item with the money he had. He began to cry. Many Nigerians have continued to cry out over the prevalent hardship across the country. And of course, residents of Niger State, which on Monday came out also to protest about the high cost of living. Let's quickly see this video and we'll come back to the studio to react to it.
5,000 so ń jẹ mọ́ wa láma ti dé. 2,200. Irú wàhálà wo wá nílé ìwọ lọ. Bro, sell out for me 2,000 now.
That is the last price. Accept if you are looking for
Àbí irú wàhálà wo nílé kí mo fẹ́ jẹ lálẹ́ yìí báyìí 2,200 naira láìsí. Àbí irú wàhálà wo làwọn kọ́ mi bí abáyọ̀ lọ́wọ́. Irú wàhálà wo la kọ̀ báyìí 2,200 naira láìsí. Irú wàhálà wo la kọ̀ báyìí. Kí ni ìjọba ìwà ń sọ fún wa báyìí wọ̀ lọ máa ṣàánú wa 2,200 naira láìsí. Sáwà ní jáde jáwó Nàìjíríà mọ́ ni. Èwo ni ìjọba bàbá yìí ṣe fún wa yọ náà máa ṣàánú wa. Ọ̀gá please now. Irú wàhálà olólè. Ìjọba bàbá Tinubu, ìjọba tí ó dára bá bàbá Tinubu yẹn ṣàánú wa. Wọ́n mi wá jọ 2,200 naira ráìsẹ̀. 2,000 ló wà lọ́wọ́ mi táwọn ọmọ mi fẹ́ fi jẹun lálẹ́ yẹn jọ náà. Ẹ̀yin tá dìbò fún bàbá yẹn bá wá bẹ̀ bàbá yìí. Ẹ̀yin tá dìbò fún bàbá yẹn bá wá bẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin tá dìbò fún bàbá yẹn bá wá bẹ̀ ṣàlù wa. Ẹ bá wá bẹ̀ bàbá yìí tá àdìjẹun Nàìjíríà mọ́ ni. Ebi ń pa wá ṣàlù wa.
This is so sad. I must be honest. When I first saw this video, I told my colleagues about it. I actually cried because I'm like, this is bad. Like, yes, it's bad. I know it's bad, but this bad. Like, you know, a grown-up man going to the market with 2,000 and hoping to get a cup of a derrick of rice or whatever he wants to buy, and still believe that he's going to put concussion with it and, you know, get his children feed, and could not help himself but break down until the woman beside the other marketer had to come in and like told the man to sell it for him for that 2,000 naira that he had. This is so bad. This is to talk about the same cost of living we were talking about yesterday. But now that I'm watching it, I'm actually laughing because of the statements, the things he was saying, like about our bed. And the point is, talk to who? But let me not be the one to judge here. We have guessed it out. Let me start with you, Mr. Sheikh.
Well, look, I mean, for me, it's sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. It's moving to see a grown adult. Obviously, that guy has children,
of course,
and a wife at home and all that, and he's thinking, he was even saying it, what are we going to eat today? You know, he has only 2,000 naira. That 2,000 naira can't buy anything.
At all.
He can't buy anything. A kilo of fish today is 2,007. A kilo of chicken is about 3,008. You know,
so you're talking about fish.
He can't even buy chicken. He can't buy fish. You can't buy shrimp. You can't
Looking at this man,
talk of protein.
Egg.
All he wants is just to be able to eat gari. He can't buy gari with that money. He can't buy rice. He can't buy beans. He can't buy anything. So even so, he will have to buy little cups, just little cups of everything, so that at least can eat for just that day, and it might still not be enough. You know, so it's sad. I hope the people in office, the people in power, public office holders will see this video and it will sensitize them and they will relate with empathy with regards to the policies. Look, I said this thing. This thing is infuriating. I kept saying it on all platforms. Don't remove subsidy. You cannot take subsidies away. The poverty level we have in Nigeria, the inflationary trend that single policy decision will trigger, will turn people into paupers. It will impoverish Nigerians. Not only did we remove subsidy, we now floated the naira. So we're in chaos. Now, I want to end my comments by pointing out to Nigerians that electoral choices have consequences. There are people that will die as a result of poor electoral choices. I won't say more than that so that I don't want to sound partisan. But when we are making our choices during elections, we have to understand that it has a bearing on the kind of feeding we will make over the next 4 years. The access we have to healthcare, the access our children will have to school, transportation costs. Those choices at the election, at the ballot, they have a direct bearing. So open your eye. Imagine this guy saying, help us beg that Baba. So obviously, he is one of his supporters. But here we are. So for me, we've got to be very careful when we come to the issue of elections in Nigeria. This is the core message of that video. It's the core message. Because the man has entered. This is his own policy. This is how, and he didn't hide it during campaigns. Those of us that were not comfortable with those ideas, we spoke against it spiritedly. He has come in and he has fulfilled his promise to remove subsidy, to float the naira. He is pursuing liberalist, capitalistic, very core capitalistic policies to please Bretton Woods institutions. That's how it's going to continue to go. It's not going to change. So if you happen to be collateral damage because you are part of the poor people whose life will get worse, so be it. That's what's going to happen. The man is just going to go ahead. Nobody is going to bear anybody for anybody. The man is going to do what he's going to do. So in 2027, shine your eye. Let us see whether this will be a lesson that will help Nigerians choose better, that will go beyond party, APC, PDP, Labour Party, and all that nonsense, and look at the person who is saying the kind of things that you believe will lead to a better future for you. Maybe we will learn our lessons from this. And if we don't, we'll continue to cry like this.
Okay, before you react, Nuruddin, because of our time, because after you go wrapping up, this one is from Regina from Jos. Says it's so heartbroken, but this government don't care about the common man. Food insecurity in this country is so high. May God help us. So very quickly to wrap up the show.
Well, with what Mr. Shopito said, I totally agree with him. Before the election, the last edition of the Boss, before the election, I said this. And I said that before you vote, consider your status, consider your salary, consider food, consider housing before you vote. And I use one particular adage then. It's a Yoruba statement. And I said, Erotin roko, Erotin rodo, ẹ jẹ́ kí ìyàwó na ọmọ kọ, ọjọ́ tí ìyàwó bá na ọmọ kọ, ọ̀rọ̀ ni ó sọra rẹ̀. And I said there's going to be a situation where you are going to see son-in-laws that wants to beat their father's wives. And it's going to have consequences. That consequences is what we're saying. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigerians are hungry.
Suffering.
They are suffering.
Yes,
it is the high time. The protests in Niger speak of something. If Niger State, that is one of the states that give us food. Kano State, that was a protest. Hungry protest, they call it. Now it is a high time. Thank God that he said he's going to call a meeting today and he's going to work on food insecurity. It is important that he should work on food security. People must have access to food and it must be affordable. If it goes on like this, what it means is that many Nigerians will die in this struggle. Many of them will turn to what we don't want them to turn to. Some of them will hunt us badly. And that is the reason why we need to be very, very careful on the issue of hunger.
Okay, thank you very much. That was it. I have nothing more to say. You've spoken my mind, and of course, like I said, most of our guests are the voice of the people, and I'm sure President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is actually listening to this. Please heed to our cry and heed to the advice we're given. On this note, I'll say thank you very much